These highlights from the Probate podcast will help you navigate life transitions like a pro. From senior living to estate planning to probate, you'll learn incredibly useful tips. Be sure to like and subscribe to hear more from Sherri Lund and her expert guests.
I heard a story about, it was mind blowing to me. This little lady, she's, I don't know, late 80s, early 90s, never married, never had any children, had one small, very modest house here in the Houston area valued at about $120,000. Very modest. She had some siblings. And so she thought, I don't need a will. It's just me. It's super simple. I've told everybody what I want done with my son, like she didn't even have anything written out. And so there was no will. So they had to go to probate, which meant another attorney had to be brought in. So two attorneys, one for the probate case and then one to figure out ad litem. Is that what they call that?
It's an attorney ad litem, correct?
Yes. And so they had to hire this attorney to do the matrix stuff to go back through her family line to figure out who the rightful heirs are. And the state of Texas has this procedure that it goes through, this policy, so that everybody gets their fair share. And so in doing that, they look at siblings, they look at nieces, they look at nephews, parents, if they're still alive, which hers weren't, but they kept going. She had a brother who's now is in its, 60s or 70s. But at one time he had an affair and had several children nobody knew about in New Mexico. And so now they have to investigate and see, do those children have children? Did she have great nieces and nephews? And it was a year and a half of this attorney working all this stuff out. They found 22 heirs to split this and pay all those attorney fees. And when it was all said and done, there wasn't much of her estate that actually went to the heirs because of all the stuff. But if she had made a will and said, I want my house to go to my sister, said and done, it would have been so simple.
And that's the Texas Intestacy laws. That's the process that you were describing there. And when you pass without a will, you have to go through heirship. And heirship requires an attorney ad litem. It requires them to do research and to delve into your family history, get proofs and you have to look at if there was a child that was adopted. They want to know about it. They want to know about everything. And
right. I think they were interviewing neighbors and to verify that this is really who it is. And
it makes the process longer and more expensive. Absolutely. Yes.
For a very modest, simple life, which in her eyes, why would I need a will? And it was something. Yeah. I was one that avoided talking about a will. I didn't want to think about an estate plan. I was really silly about it. Like, don't talk to me about this stuff. And I can't say that I thought talking about it would make it happen sooner. I just didn't want to face the fact that I might not be here someday. Sure. And so I didn't even want to entertain that idea. But when I started to think about my children and my husband and what my decision to not face this for them, how selfish that was of me to do that, just to be blunt, what would making an estate plan, what would be easier? What makes that process easier?
Well, for some individuals, it is difficult to think about something that is frankly morbid. It is not easy stuff to picture and imagine. And some people take it in stride and some people do not. But to make the process easier is to also have a good understanding of what you own. There's plenty of times where I'm going through the process and then I'm working on documents, drafting everything. And I think we have an ownership interest in oil and mineral rights or something out of the blue, or I have this retirement account. I forgot about it. It's good to have a full grasp on everything you own, all different assets you own. This includes investments. This includes land that you may own a fourth of somewhere in the country. Whatever it may be, is having a good grasp of everything you own. And in relation to that, also really understanding or being able to convey your wishes.
Yes.
People start talking about who they want to inherit or who they want to be responsible for their minor children or their special needs children if they're adults and they need guardianship. They try to think of who would be the best person to do that. And they don't really have a way of analyzing it. It's good to be able to separate yourself and kind of look at it practically speaking. Who's really the most mature, who's the most responsible, who has that child's best interest in mind, and also who is irresponsible, who will get $10,000 and go blow it in a weekend. These are things you kind of want to think about before you come in so we can really formulate a plan of action.
Right. And I think as you're talking about those things, I think having someone who can talk about these things with you patiently, who can give you an unrushed time to think about it and to be compassionate about this difficult topic that you might not want to talk to. So some attorneys do not have that personality. They are ready to jump from point A to point Z. And I would say if you're the kind of person that is resistant to going into this, it might be helpful to find some people on your team that will help support you mentally, emotionally, and encourage you to go forward with this important decision.
Yes, and typically in our consultations with clients and doing coaching, explaining what a guardian may be, what the best qualifications of that
Right.
would look like, and what the best qualifications of a trustee would be.
Right.
Kind of going into those so they can really match up the job duties and responsibilities with who matches that in their life.
Yeah, I think that that's really helpful.
To catch the full episode, check the link in the YouTube description for the Probate Podcast Episode 4 and subscribe for more tips each week.